Go. That is definitely going to be one for the record books, as they say. That was fun. Did I mute this sound? I don't think I did. I did decrease the master volume a little bit on my own. I'll move that back up a bit. So we're in this city. We're in Copper Lane in Defiance Bay. That's the zone we're in. We just entered it. Quest-wise, The Long Hunt, The Master Below, Time and Tide, Lords of a Barren Land, Trial of Durance, Fragments of a Scattered Faith, and Buried Secrets. I think I could return to Buried Secrets and get a lot farther now. Let's get me over here. Took a hit when the stalwart's mines dropped up. Wait, didn't I see stuff here? It's not listed as stealing.
Defiance Bay. If ever there was a dry field in need of a cleansing flame, you have found it.
You don't like this place much, do you, huh? Commoners. The Crucible Knights have been warning everyone to stay out of the catacombs. They're not safe anymore. If you're a scholar, you'll want to visit the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. I like the name of that. Commoners, cats. Oh! A ruckus. Down with animancy! Protester. Radiant's Legacy was one warning. Heritage Hill was another. Spread the word. Together we'll drive the blight of animancy from our city. Bunch of protesters. Right? They're all protesters, right? And a Justicar. I'm going to go talk to this Justicar for a second. Nope.
Welcome.
Rowan's arms are crossed and his mouth is set in a grim frown as he watches the gathered protesters. He looks ready for a fight, and I did not change my game. Just realized that. Just a second. Alright, great. Updated it. He looks ready for a fight. He sizes you up. New in town, huh? You picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacies no better here. It's the Animasters. Margren scorched them, and they nest in this city like rats. You mark my words, though. Us dozens are going to put them to a fight. Or put a stop to it, sorry. Tell me about the dozens. He taps his chest. We're an organization of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of animancers and the tyranny of the aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days. Eder says, just like a militia, the dozens, except for the training, and the discipline, and the code of honor. His eyes gleam, and we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better the state of the country. You have any interest in hearing more? Stop by Admeth's Den sometimes. The Expedition Hall. A lot of freethinkers in there can set straight all the nonsense the nobles and animancers want you to believe. Might even be some paid work for the motivated types. I'd like to know more about Defiance Bay. Aye, I bet they don't teach about the colony that trounced Hadrit's handmaiden back in the good old Adir, do they? This is the capital of the Free Palatinate of the Direwood. We started out as the capital of the Adrian colony, but we booted the Flaccid Scepter from these lands 150 years ago. These days, we're a major port receiving trade and visitors from around the world. But we, some of us anyways, strive to hold on to the pioneering spirit that earned us freedom a century and a half ago. The city is divided into 5 districts: Copper Lane, First Fires, Andra's Gift, Brackenberry, and Heritage Hill. Okay. Thanks. You are a setting introducer, which I don't really care for a whole lot. I'd rather just discover the things on my own. Some commoners. And a Justica. Can we get into these buildings? Doesn't look like it. This looks like this is... Where am I at? Here I am. Okay, yeah. I've barely made it in. Oh, Eder wants to talk. Eder wants to talk.
The dozens.
Pretty sure you won't
find one among them who stood within 100 miles of that bridge when the Godhammer went off. Too bad, too. Seemed there'd be less of them.
I don't really remember the Godhammer. That's what they called the bomb they blew up Waden with. Don't know much about it other than that. Anything kills a living god, guess you gotta name it. Why do they call themselves the Dozen? It was 12 Dryer Woodens stood outside Howgate Citadel waiting for Waden to cross the bridge there. They had to hold him there long enough for the Godhammer to detonate, so that's what they did. What do you have against the Dozens? Nothing serious. Nothing I don't have against a lot of folks, anyway. The Dozens, they like to take things into their own hands. Gets ugly sometimes. We don't have them in Gilded Vale, but they'd be right at home there. They picked that name so they could do what they wanted and feel like it was right. Got nothing to do with honor or sacrifice. They like to invoke Magrin, too, when they especially want to feel right. Somehow I don't think she'd be too impressed with that lot. I'm sure she'd like to set them on fire anytime they use her name, but the gods probably got rules against that sort of thing. There must be plenty of other groups that are... No... Let's say surely Magrin has worthier followers. She draws all types, seems to me. More than she'd like, I'm sure. Warmongers, fire lovers, his eyes fixed briefly on Durant's. But she does do better than that. Plenty of good soldiers said their prayers to her when we were marching toward the front lines. I have to expect those are the types she'd prefer to talk to. Alright, let's continue on. Good idea. I feel like I didn't do what I needed to do there. Again. Commoners? Commoners. And a door. Let's find out. And get probably like 50 or 60 experience just for going into a map. Is this going to be more memories?
Huh?
Yep. Alright, let's reach out for the soul. You see a fire burning slowly on the side of a winding road, unmanned. There seems to be no fuel, no wood, or oil for it to consume, no hay or twigs. Despite this, it roars, crackles, wails in the wind. It takes you a moment, but then you begin to notice a figure in the flames. Its shaking hands cradle a young face, molten red tears marring skin the color of coal. The boy cowers, flame coating him as he holds his knees to his chest. In the distance, a man approaches, faceless. He extends a hand to the frightened child, who considers it warily before taking it. The flames die down, leaving his limbs and settling on his head like obedient pets. All tears dried, they walk together, fire and death, hand in hand. For Mercus Solomon, as you near, blah blah blah. You see a wizard playing illusions in a town square, fingers plucking color and sound from the air and weaving scenes of beauty and fright. A crowd of onlookers gasps and cheers, enthralled with the display, all but one boy, standing off to the side, mouth agape. Green eyes are pale with wonder, vision after vision playing out before him, and something inside the boy clicks. Without warning, he bolts, disappearing into the crowd, pushing and shoving desperately. The mage finishes his show soon after. A giant silver dragon descending through the crowd and 1,000 stars exploding into nothingness. Collecting coins, he walks around the clapping crowd, bowing and nodding at each as he passes, until a small sack is dropped into his hands. The boy stands for a moment before him, small and still, and begs the wizard to apprentice him. He glances at the hefty bag, weighing it, and the boy, carefully. Finally, he nods and flicks gently at the bag, which disappears. The boy grins. "How'd you do that?" he asks, but the illusionist merely winks. The Vulture. You see a hand, curled and bruised, staked to the floor with a bent metal spike. Blood covers the floor and drips from the furnishings and walls. This man looks up from the body he has crouched over to survey the carnage he caused to the family in whose house he now skulks. 4 bodies total, a woman, 2 young men, and a girl, lie blindfolded on the ground. Their legs are bound and both hands are attached to the floor with spikes. He has lifted the woman's blindfold and is currently doing something to her eyes. He pulls back a small blade and covers the eyes again, gently patting the blindfold. He stands and looks around, seemingly satisfied with his handiwork. Suddenly his breath quickens, hearing someone approaching the door to the room. He bounces in place, excitement almost overwhelming him, then rushes to the back of the room, concealing himself in the shadows. From his vantage, he sees the bodies are perfectly arranged, each one facing the door, welcoming the man of the house back, arms outstretched as if in an embrace. The door opens as he slowly pulls another spike from his belt, the tip of his tongue playing across his teeth in anticipation. This dude's a freak.
All right, then.
Welcome to the Goose and Fox.
Yeah.
Bodyguard, noble, commoner, merc, Lupitz Silvarum. You see an impressive gathering of wild Orlands in ceremonial dress, shaded by a copse of ancient oaks. Underneath the largest oak stand 2 young Orlands, hands clasped, eyes clear as they promise to care for and love one another in the joining of their clans. An older Orland steps towards them to speak, beard seeming to sprout from directly underneath his eyes, and declares their union complete. The jubilant Orlands clans carry the newly wedded couple away to their tent with snorts of laughter and crude jokes, leaving the older Orland to sit alone beneath the age-old oaks. He sighs, observing the scene in the distance. He whispers a quiet benediction, glad for their gladness, and melts into the trees without another word. He has seen enough happiness for one day. Let's talk to the noble if we can. Are you here for some words of wisdom too? No.
Mm-hmm. Good day to you.
Bishop is this guy's name. The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Alaman. A handle protrudes from his back and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns it in one broad hand but doesn't drink from it. This is a lovely place. It was founded in the early days of Darwood independence by a traveling scholar named Errol of Levy. He wanted a place where kith of all backgrounds could gather and hash out issues facing the new country. It didn't take long for the place to fill up. Brackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from the Gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Dryerwoodens have never been known to turn down an argument. I can imagine things got interesting. Soon, kith were coming from the farms and settlements too. He waves at the door, as if expecting a crowd to bustle in. This place got even more popular with the Valian sailors than the salty mast, and that was the problem. He drains his cup. No matter what people say about fair-mindedness and civil debate, there's only so much people will tolerate. Nice rhyme. The Earl found himself on the wrong side of an argument with the wrong Thayan, and when he disappeared a few days later, some said it was the work of that Thayan. He shrugs, spreading his hands over the bar as he surveys the room. But Errol knew which way the wind was blowing. If you ask me, he skipped town, hid out somewhere, hoping for rational minds to prevail in Defiance Bay. If only he could see it now. Alright, that's nice. It's just a bar at this point.
Yeah.
Kenra sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. This. It is not a good time. You look like you could use another drink. I'll get there. She takes a long drink from her glass. Just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Kenra looks up at you, and the lamp falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé, Nisk, only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends, and they're not exactly pleasant company. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who hit you? She shakes her head. I know how this looks, but you don't understand. It's not like Pernisk. It's these new friends of his. They've brought out the worst in him. Tell me about these new friends. They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Pernisk makes me leave when they show up, but it's obvious what they come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the gift, but not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Svef changes you, I guess. The Persnick I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider. I never thought he'd... She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discolored flesh. Survival 2, but Sveth makes people calm and listless. It shouldn't make them violent. I don't really know. Seems better than believing he's always been this way. Maybe I could go talk to him. She rests her hand on the table and she clenches it into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just want to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand and a ring clatters on the table. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper, and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. I'll take this ring to Persnick, then. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Please don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. Yeah. This guy might not just get something delivered to him. A dwarf and an Orlin debate philosophy on the other side of this curtain. Well, that's cool. Brad Furus. Read his soul. You see a mud-soaked clearing, rain falling to the ground in large drops. This man is lying on his back in the muck, his hands holding open the maw of an enormous stelgar that stands over him, its front paws on his chest. The heavy rain falls over them, playing counterpoint to the grunts made by the opponents. Dead stelgar litter the ground around them, and the man's body shows signs of a difficult battle. His clothing is torn, hanging in scraps in some places. Bites and scratches cover his arms and legs. A huge gash cuts across his forehead, blood and water mixing as they run down his face and drip into the mud. It takes all the man's effort to keep the beast's jaws from clamping down. The man looks around wildly until his gaze finally lands on a large axe lying barely within arm's reach behind his head, the rain slowly covering it with grime and muddy water. He looks at the Stelgar and then back at the axe, grim determination on his face. His arms is shaking, and it seems he will not be able to hold the beast back for much longer. He takes a deep breath and wraps his right hand around the Stelgar's bottom jaw, and then lets go with his left hand, freeing the top of its head. The Stelgar's mouth snaps shut on his right hand as his left shoots out above his head and grabs the handle of the axe. The Stelgar grinds its teeth and pulls back, trying to free itself from his grip, blood dripping from its mouth onto his face. With a grunt that quickly becomes a bellow of pain, the man pulls his right hand down, bringing the beast's head closer to him, swinging the axe around as he does. The blade of the weapon pierces the Stelgar's neck and it yelps, its mouth popping open as it tries to step backwards off the man. Before his mangled hand can lose its grip, the man pulls and twists as hard as he can, trying to get the beasts on the ground, using the Stelgar's resistance to pull himself into a sitting position. He brings the axe down on its neck again, and one final time as its head and his hand simultaneously come free. The head flies from his grip as he thrusts his hand behind his back to brace himself as he falls. As his hand hits the ground and his full weight lands on it, a second bellow of pain erupts from his mouth. Breathing heavily, he brings his now mangled hand up to assess the damage. The little finger is gone, lost somewhere in the mud. The two fingers next to it are twisted, broken, and torn, barely attached to his hand by small bits of flesh. He sighs, grabbing both dangling fingers with his left hand. He grits his teeth and pulls. Yikes. No need to steal food. I don't even have any use for it yet.
Huh?
Oh. You see a half-consumed ale slosh its way down across the distance to his mouth, spilling across the stains of food long past. Glazed eyes glance at the brawl across the room, gaining fervor as the fight extends through the room. Another ale, he murmurs to the bartender, downing his drink and turning towards the wall. He pulls a picture from his pocket, a painting of a young child, all brown hair and green eyes, and holds it above a candle. It does not burn. Ales later, he begins to sing, the bar a mess of broken chairs and wounded pride, and they all listen for a moment before continuing their drinks, sveff, and conversations. His ache is felt through the room. His sad story reminds them of their sad stories. When he finishes singing, a silence hangs in the air, palpable among the smoke and the sweat and the yeasty smell of beer-infused exhalation. He is the first to break the silence, ordering a round of ale for the room. The general din of conversation sparks and resumes, but the mirth now is tempered with far-off memories and thoughts. Let's go upstairs, guys. Another 60 XP. Huh? Hurdy. A burly almond raises a hand in greeting. Huh, these people are talking, but... Huh. This is an interesting group.
Good day to you.
Ah, I thought there'd be one to talk to. An oiland man relaxes with his feet propped on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the Orland woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at the nearby table, and he spins a dagger in his hand. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a night or two in the wilds. Joining us for a drink? Who are all of you? The name's Two-Tone Wexel. The lady next to me is Key. We've had our fun with the expeditions, but we're hoping to enjoy a little peace and quiet. For the next few weeks, anyway. Dreadshot says, I'm Dreadshot Dalen. This is Hardy and Ilfa. We were part of separate expedition teams, but we both suffered losses and decided to band together. He ticks several items off of his fingers. Beasts, barbarians, bioax. It's a dangerous time to be an adventurer, but a prosperous one, too. And here's to many more prosperous journeys. Is there something else you wanted? Nope. I'm good, apparently. Apparently you don't have what I need right now, I guess. Mm-hmm. Hey, wait. Is there a different banner sign? Will people with the gold one only be people I can see their souls? I betcha that's true. Harold Rowell. You see a man standing on a dock. Sailors, soldiers, and prostitutes swarm around him, but he's watching a ship disappearing over the horizon. He should be glad his men didn't take his life along with his ship, but failure is almost as bad a death for a Valian. Only the gods only know he hadn't fared any better in his family's mercantile business. It's almost a relief to see that last herald of his future, or his failure, sail into the distance, sparing him the need to go back to his father and admit defeat once again. Besides, with sharp wits and an eye for opportunity, there's always a chance for a comeback. He pulls a flask from his hip and takes a long drink. There will be time for that later. He adjusts the flap of his eye patch and finds the tower of the brothel. He plots a new course for the evening, a grin on his face. And he's with Ishana Glenn. You see a group of people standing on a clear patch of earth surrounded by several motionless bodies. On the ground in the middle of the group is a small figure curled up to protect itself from the kicking feet of the people standing around it. This woman is there, apart from the group, holding an enormous sword. She leans on it, using it almost like a crutch, hunched over and breathing heavily. She stares at the people and grunts, pulling herself upright and lifting the sword from the ground. She draws in a large breath, leans into a run, and quickly closes the distance between herself and the group. A blood-chilling howl suddenly explodes from her. The mob freezes mid-kick and stares at the terrifying bull of a woman now charging it. She jumps at the last second, bending slightly, turning herself into a projectile, flying into the middle of the people, assaulting the figure on the ground. Everyone topples as she flies into them. She hits the ground, but beyond them, rolling, leaping back up, and turns to face them. She plants both of her feet and lifts her sword, surveying the field. Suddenly she spins on her heel, swinging her sword with savage grace, cutting down the nearest of the assailants. Letting herself get pulled into the momentum of the spin, she brings her sword around, blade sideways, into the head of a would-be opponent. The bottom of the hilt shatters his temple, and he crumples to the ground on her feet. She looks up, rage-filled eyes daring the remaining two men to approach. After a quick sideways glance at each other, they turn heel and run. One briefly looks back over his shoulder, ensuring she isn't following him. So she slowly lets out the breath she had been holding and walks over to help the figure still huddled on the ground. Nothing here. People here with gold backgrounds. Yeah, I get tired of reading that so much. Alright, team, back downstairs. We're going to keep exploring this city. Oh, what's this? This Stelgar's pelt is thick with dust and moth. The plaque below the beast reads, Maiden Falls, 2682. Maybe we should go down for a quick look and come right back out. Say we found nothing. What's this we? Dalton's your friend, not mine. Oh, come on. Really wanted to find out more about this Dalton. Heritage Hill claims another curious soul. We remind all visitors to Defiance Bay that the hill is sealed for the city's protection. And furthermore, that the trade of Ingwithan artifacts is strictly forbidden. Oh, he's a town crier. Marketplace got me 150? Seriously? Oh, because it's an outdoor location.
Good day, stranger.
Hey, the young woman stands by a cart, watching the crowd with large, bright eyes that focus as you approach. Take your time, traveler. If you're looking for enchanted scrolls or garb, you've come to the right place. Show me your wares. Lots of expensive stuff. Wow, requires 10 lore. That's pretty serious. That's interesting. It's an AoE that hits everyone with burn and freeze and reduced attack speed, but only foes for shock damage. Interesting. Scroll of Revival. Revive with 75 endurance. Oh. Though no scroll can reach beyond the shroud and return one's fallen comrades to life, this spell can prevent their passing, for it restores to the incapacitated the vigor required to set them back on their feet. Okay. That might actually be something worth getting. Not that I have much money. I spent it all on my new digs. Whoa. Whoa, wow. That's big. Huh, those are consumables? Oh, I always thought those were cooking things. That's, huh. I mean, maybe we can cook. We're done. Done here. Next one.
Hello.
Armor. Show me your rations. Dragon eggs. Good lord. Wow. Camping supplies. Sugar. Okay. I know what you've got. You have weapons.
Gods keep you.
Ingrid stands behind a stall, polishing a broadsword. The patterned flesh around his eyes is crinkled with age, and the muscles in his arms are knotty and lean, but he holds the weapon with ease. He nods at you. Come to take a look? You won't find a finer collection of armor and weaponry in Defiance Bay. Outside of Solnild's, of course. Let me see what you have for sale. I'm not going to start off by asking him about his competition. That's rude. The lady's hand, look at that. That is weird. Here we have an arquebus, whose speed is extremely slow, and 24 to 36 piercing damage with an accuracy -5, 60-yard bypass, and low crit. The blunderbuss is also very slow, has basically no interrupt, 6 to 9 pierce damage, accuracy -10, 4 DR. Wow. Pistol would be much better, but wow. All these firearms blow. I mean, the arbalist is also very slow, don't get me wrong. At least its interrupt is high. Crits can inflict prone. Still would like to find out about enchanting things. -50% stun duration, -50% knockdown duration, and +9 will. That's pretty nice. Oh, what's this? It's an enchanted helm that gives +2 intelligence. That's nice. Alright, let's sell some stuff. I have plenty of pierce damage capabilities. Not really worried about keeping any more. And a hunting bow compared to a war bow. I'd probably go for a war bow. These are simple weapons. I can pick those up at any other time, honestly. There's plate armor in there, interestingly enough. Let's pull that back. I don't know where that just went. Looks like it's still here. There. No, it's not. And helmets? Don't care about helmets. None of them really do anything. Capes, helmets. It really all just seems to be looks. Maybe I'm missing something. Alright. That's 2130 coming back to me. So Warhammer one-handed? It is. I might be able to use a Warhammer somewhere. Though a flail might be more interesting, I don't know. I think I like the pole axe. I think I would like to give the pole axe to... maybe get a pole axe for No, she's got a spear, so she can attack fast. To ribbit. Where's a spear? Here's a spear. Spear is average 11 to 16. A poleaxe is slow 14 to 20. Yeah. Still, I think having 2 damage types is probably a little bit more, just adds more flexibility to the team. And I'm not buying any of this super fancy stuff. I'm still just going to run around with the most basic of things. Now, do I have... So here's some lockpicks. Here's a torch. There's a grapple. I do not have a pry bar. Let's throw that back. Oh, the plate armor came here. Not... Okay, well, I don't think we need 2. Oh, and there's a pry bar. So I think I have what I need. Oh, I didn't check further down. I'm dumb. Alright. She's either got a fine e-stock, or a fine crossbow, or a fine spear. So fine spear versus fine crossbow. Crossbow does 50% or so more damage. That's 1 less added accuracy. Apparently, I think. Average attack speed versus slow. And I just don't know how much faster that is. I don't know the numerical value, like what I could compare it to. So maybe buying the poleaxe was a mistake. No big deal. Alright. Moving on.
Huh?
What? That's not stealing? Alright, well, go get it.
Right.
Right. Okay. What's this? Is this her house? And should we smack him around if it is? Langdon. Right. Everyone know the plan? Up the wall and up and in the window. Grab the jewel for the pretty little lord. We got it. Listen, dwarf. If I have to... Langdon, we have company. Greetings. The dwarf eyes you suspiciously and hides his pistol behind his back. You, looking for someone? Because this isn't the best... Idiot! They're probably with the Crucible Knights. You've made a grave mistake coming here. He raises his blade. Oh! No talking. Just ass owning. Anyways, actually I haven't done anything with Sagia yet. She's got wounding shot, which hobbles a target and inflicts raw damage. So, let's hobble this dude right here. Let's send Eder after Langan. And I will be a fool and take this guy on. Fool. Why don't you, since we're gonna have... Now that web, I'm just not sure about the web. Nope. Necrotic Lance. Target her. You... Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, I have some... He has some good effects. I want her... to go this way.
Ready, Watcher.
Love.
Yep. What is he doing? Frenzying. What I want you to do is to blind him. Yep, you're attacking that guy. You're attacking that guy. Uh-huh. You're coming around. Oh, he turned on you. Oh, did I hit him? Did I blind him? I missed! Alright, your turn then. Oops! 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 Okay, now that we've got some room, go ahead and do that. What are you doing? You're still fighting? That's great. Lowers attack and reload rate. More careful aim, increasing damage and accuracy. I don't know that this guy... Yeah, he doesn't have much defense. He's fine. You can trip the guy that you're fighting. You, now that you have people in an area... Go here. Now fan flame. Yep, do it like that. Awesome. Whoa. Eder, did you not trip that dude? Come on.
Birth and rough.
Dude. Dude. Okay. Dude, just knock that guy down. Oh, crap. Has he not been doing anything? Oh, he's frightened and confused. Why is he frightened and confused? That's interesting. Whoa! 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 Alright, what are you doing? What are you doing? Current action is what? What is that current action? Alright, you need to do your once per encounter thingy. Oh! When did he get killed? Sagini killed him. Great. And this guy got killed. Okay, great. You turn on him. You turn on him. And you're fighting him. Great! Good to go then.
Got it.
Curses!
Oh. Finish him off.
All right, then.
Goody, goody, goody.
Huh?
Oh, a fine rapier. Thieves' letter. Our contact inside Raymont Manor will leave a second-story window ajar. He's confirmed the location of the heart of the White March in a hidden chamber. Get your crew together and head to Brackenbury before Lord Raymont moves the jewel. A.D. Oh, that got pushed into my stash. Alright, whatever. And then a bunch of things. Alright, you get the lockpick. Everything else is party stash.
Mm-hmm.
A 2-story job. Pistol, money, blah 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 blah. Alright. Loot the table. That's some money. What do we got here? Long, jagged tears slice across the garden scene in this painting. Oh, that's horrible. A few bedrolls and spare tunics are bundled in a corner. Okay. Nothing here? Oh, hey. Oop. Ribbit.
Yeah.
Ribbit, come on over, honey.
Why not? There. Done.
Money. Oh, that's a big old bed. Muddy boot prints and splotches of ale stain the bed sheets. Oh, jeez. Those traps. Those traps. Dang. Minus 15 deflection now. That is not cool.
Of course.
House Domel. Alright, so this is a setting type of book. Is that everything? That is everything. Oh, wait. Room over here. Another setting type book, which is all good. Oh gosh. More nastiness. Nasty, nasty. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Okay, so it doesn't look like I've got much more to do here. Yeah, some gold titles. Whatever. They're very interesting, but I'm getting a little tired of them. Admith's Den, which is not one of the immediate regions. So what is it? Is there anything over here? No? Nope, this doesn't look like anything. So this looks like a whole nother Admeth's Den. Looks like a huge freaking building, I'll tell you that. Let's go see if we can find this guy who beat up his wife. Refugees. Some milk. Some milk for the taking. There's a cat. This could be the building. I gotta wrap up here momentarily. So maybe... Yeah, I bet you this is it. Look at all these druggies sitting around dazed.
Ready, Watcher.
Field triage.
Yeah.
Addict. Top floor's off limits. Addict. He never used to let us do that before. Oh, this does not look good. This doesn't just look like he's just hanging out here. It almost looks like someone's moved in now, using his place. So what's this? Umdala's house, Persnick's house, world map, a dormitory, Hall of Revealed Mysteries, First Fires, which one of the regions, Catacombs, well that sounds fun, Brackenberry. And the time puts us in the middle. But I have 2 wounds now in the party. Wait, I don't? Somebody else had a wound. Does it go away after a while? Huh. With additional effects. Huh. Okay. Well... I mean, I can go look at everything else first. So... we'll be moving this way. So did you get him the dagger? What? No, of course not. Gordy's a nice kid, but March steel is expensive. He probably cut his fingers off anyway. And these are nobodies, I guess. Commoner, 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 commoner. And we will stop here, it looks like. Ready to go into this building. Alright, awesome. Let me see if I can find another Tick, 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 tick. See if I can find another pillar streamer. If I cannot, then I see one of the usual people I host. So let's see. Games. There is somebody besides me doing it. Alright. I think this is the same guy who was doing it last time. Yep, it is.
That's a bad container. Let's see.
Oh, I have to go back to my room.
Crisp. Oh,
Just
this
a
is
second
matter of
then.
clicking this way.
Back to my room.
Crisp. Oh,
Just a
this is
second
matter of
then.
clicking this way.
Back to my room.
Crisp. Oh,
Just a second then. That's gonna start looping.
with this, Oh! I think that's the second time I've been hosted by Indie of Como. Lots of cheers for you, man.
And what does the flame reveal?
You're being a real,
Let's see what we found.
really friendly guy, I guess, for lack of a better word. So thanks yet again. Have you? What game have you been streaming earlier? Was it like Pillars or some other CRPG? Something else? Or maybe you viewers of the Indie of Como know what did you guys stream? Actually, I have to see if I can check this guy's channel out. Let's see, Indie of Como. You can see the latest broadcast, maybe. Oh, he's still alive.
Det här projektet började för lite mer än
Ja,
3
det
år
vet.
sedan nu med att min flickväns mamma gärna ville ha en ateljé här på tomten. Och
What's happening?
nu står det klart.
God damn it. Oh yeah. I'm gonna throw you a follow, in fact. So maybe I can catch you the next time you stream Pillars.